Okay, we are back with another video. Back with the puff.
Whoop, whoop. Welcome.
So if you're new here, I'm Jo.
And I'm Dee.
And this channel is basically about travel, lifestyle,
college, like after college, soon to be.
Everything under the sun. We don't know. We don't even have a subject that we like to talk about. JK, it's mostly traveling. Anyway, I did a poll on Instagram to see, you know, who would watch a video if we made one about how we traveled throughout the school year, how we afford it, etc. So here we are. This is what this channel is about. So
let's get into
Let's do it.
So our number one place to look for flights is skyscanner.com. So
.com, not the other one .net, because it'll bring up UK prices like pounds, or is it euros?
Pounds.
It's pounds.
No, it's pounds.
Okay,
well,
yeah.
London's, well, yes.
London is in the UK.
And London's pounds.
I don't know. Yeah, and then Europe is euros. Yeah. Okay, anyway. So yeah, like Denisa said, Skyscanner. So you want to tell them how we use Skyscanner?
Skyscanner.com. So basically what you're going to do is in your search bars, you know how you would usually type like where you're going or where you want to go and where you're going from. So basically what you're going to do is put in your home airport. So for us, that would be Houston. And then instead of typing an actual destination, you're going to type everywhere. And so this is really where, you know, we get our cheapest flights from, because of the fact that we don't really have a distinct destination that we're trying to go to. Of course, sometimes it's planned, but most of the time it's off of whim, like, oh, you know, what's the cheapest and what's gonna work for our budget for that month. So once you do that, you go and you press, you know, search, and then it'll like bring up the months of the year, and you can do cheapest month, or you can click a specific month that you're trying to travel within. And then once that comes up, you're gonna see prices for each day going and returning. So after you do that, you really just pick and try to see what's in your price range.
And like Denisa said, key is really not having any expectation for where you're going. Of course, sometimes, yeah, like we know where we want to go. We save up the money, we go. We find the cheapest flight. However, like she said, most of the time we'll really just get on there and be like, okay, we want to either fly from Houston, or sometimes we even say Austin, because that's also pretty close, and we just kind of see which one is cheaper. And then we see what it populates, and we scroll through the list, and we're like, oh, that sounds interesting. That's cheap. Let's go. So a lot of people think that we, you know, really plan it, but we will go wherever. I mean, unless it's like Turkey. Well, I would go to Turkey, just not right now.
I was gonna say Utah, but Utah's actually really pretty from what I've seen.
Yeah, I would go to Utah. There's a lot of nice stuff in Utah.
Yeah, we would nowhere that we wouldn't
go. Yeah, that's why we travel so much, because we have no expectations. Like, every part of the world has something nice to offer, something beautiful, or even if we just don't want to be in College Station, that's fine. I'd rather be in Salt Lake City as opposed to College Station, so it doesn't matter.
Exactly, it's more about experience, so.
Yeah, so there's that. If you have any questions about that, you can definitely just comment below if that's confusing, but like we said, we will insert the little snippet at the bottom. And then the next tool that we don't use as often, but we have used before, is Expedia. So Expedia, what I really like about them is they have good bundle deals. And when was the last time we used Expedia?
We went to LA. We haven't actually used it in a little while, but
it was like the first trip we ever even took together,
yeah,
which was like 3 years ago. Wasn't that like 2016?
Oh, it really was. It was a while ago.
Yeah, but I'm sure it's still there. It still works. I mean, since we've discovered, well, not discovered Airbnb, but relied more on Airbnb
than like hotels and stuff. But
yeah, Expedia is less of a resource, but if you like hotels, it's definitely the thing for you. So what Expedia will do is bundle the flight and the hotel together, and it just makes it cheaper. So you can go in there and type in, I want to fly from Houston to Los Angeles on these dates. It doesn't have the cheaper options or anything like that, not that I know of, because I haven't used it in a while. But the hack to that is, okay, like for example, I booked the bundle deal for LA, which I think was like $600. And so instead of her booking the bundle deal too, since we already have a hotel room, she just booked a flight, and then we split it down the middle. So I paid $600 for the bundle. She paid, what did you pay? Actually, it was a pretty expensive flight, right?
Yeah, like my flight from Atlanta to LA, because this was over summer and I was back home, was like close to $700 round trip. So I don't really remember, but
yeah, LA can be expensive, especially when you flew like from coast to
Literally
coast.
cross country, basically. So yeah.
Yeah, but most of the time, if you're going somewhere else, it won't be anywhere near that. So the time she would have probably paid $200-300 for just the flight. So then boom, you have $900. Y'all split that down the middle. That's $450 for everyone. Does that make sense? So yeah, traveling is really all about finessing.
Yeah, using Airbnb and things of that nature as well. And also finding like travel buddies really helps. Like if I was doing all the traveling by myself, I probably wouldn't go to as many places, not because I'm scared or anything, but because of the fact that it's way more expensive. Also, another reason that we like say traveling is because we'll be conscious about how many trips we're taking and where we can finesse, like Joe said. So we'll take public transportation sometimes instead of like Ubering, because Uber is going to be extremely expensive. Or our favorite car rental place,
Turo!
Literally our favorite. Turo is the GOAT. So Joe's going to tell you guys more about that.
Yes, if you haven't heard of Turo, you need to go research
Get on the wave. Like.
Yeah, because, okay, so we're not 25, obviously. Well, I don't know if that was obvious, but I'm 22.
I'm 21.
Yeah, and so if you're not 25, all of the car rental places are, one, going to require you to have a credit card, which I don't have a credit card anymore. Denisa does, but who wants to put big charges on their credit card and then never pay it back? No. So the good thing about Turo is it still has a young driver fee, but it's way less. And you don't have to have a credit card to put on file. You just put your debit card on file. More recently, they've started charging deposits. They didn't do that before, but it's still usually only like $100, which
and
is
they'll give
not
it back.
bad.
Yeah, as long as you're, as long as you don't mess up the car, you know. And I hope you would be just as careful with someone else's car as you are with your own.
Exactly. Yeah, and it's, I'm glad you said that, because it's like Airbnb for cars. It's way cheaper. Originally it was marketed as a way to rent people's like Lamborghinis. I don't know, what's another kind of car?
G-Wagons.
It was supposed to be a way for, I guess, normal everyday people to rent luxury cars, but there are just regular cars on there. I can't think of one time I've ever rented a car and it hasn't been Turo. So it's very cost efficient. So check out Turo if you're trying to, you know, go somewhere and then drive.
Oh, we're so dumb. I just realized we should have done that for regionals. Never mind.
Okay, I don't know nothing about that. It's okay. Yeah, that was so stupid.
What?
Anyway, and it gives you a lot of miles, honestly. Like if we had a car for
what, 3 days in LA and it was 600 miles. That's
LA.
A lot of miles. We drove to Malibu and back like every day.
Yeah, we really could have driven to like Vegas, because I think that's only what, 290 miles.
Yeah, if we wanted to just use all our miles on that. And yeah, no, Turo's really good. Cars are usually clean. People are really nice. We've never had any issues. You know, you just fill it up and use it on your, you know, discretion or whatever.
Yeah, it's really good. Eating, I mean, certain places we go, we're gonna spend a lot of money on food. LA, for example, everything's expensive, everything's vegan, everything's just overpriced, whatever. But a lot of places that you go, you can get decent meals for cheap. But I will say food can add up on a trip, so be mindful of that. Well, I guess another thing with Airbnbs, there's expensive Airbnbs that are going to cost more than hotels, and there are, you know, lower end Airbnbs or even like private rooms. I'm not a fan of private rooms because the owner of the house is typically still staying there, and I just,
or it's other people with the Airbnb.
Yeah,
I don't know, it's fun if you're a solo traveler, I feel like, because then you can meet other Airbnb people, travelers, you know what I'm saying. But I don't know, I like my privacy and I like having my own bathroom.
Super same. So yeah, we typically do that. And then 2 other travel hacks actually. So I don't know if y'all know this, but next weekend we're going to Peru for Denise's birthday. And how we finesse that, actually, one of our good friends, you know, has like a real job. She's out of college and she paid for everything up front. Hopefully she's okay with me saying that, but you know, she's chasing her bag, so I feel like it's fine. I didn't have any money at the time, so what I did is she paid for it and I just paid her back over time. And then we surprised Denisa with that trip.
Insert clip here.
Yeah, so that should be fun. But I mean, if you have that type of resource, like of course I wouldn't just go ask any of my friends, hey, like pay for a trip for me up front and then I'll pay you back. No, we're actually really close, so that's why that happened. And then I have an aunt who works for American Airlines. So if you know someone who works for an airline, you can always fly.
Standby!
Which is actually not fun. We've only done it.
We've only done it twice.
Yeah, once for her cousin's wedding in Ohio. Because it's like, not who wants to spend money on that, but like.
No, we bought flights. Remember? We missed our flight. And I was freaking out because my parents were like, I didn't want to tell I didn't want to tell my parents that we missed it because they would have been mad.
Yeah, Denise's scared of her parents. If it was my mom never would have paid for it for me, so I would have been like, yeah, I just missed
I'm not scared. I just would have felt so irresponsible because I think we like overslept and my mom was like really excited to see me, so I was like, oh, I cannot tell her I'm not coming to this wedding. And so we were like, oh, call your aunt, and then we got on standby and we made.
Yeah, but we did get on the tail end of the trip. We got stuck in the airport for what, a day?
Yeah, we ended up going back to my family's house. We could have gone to New York, but
yeah. So the way standby works is like what they're trying to do is find an empty seat on a plane for you to get on. And so I think the first empty seat, there was only one, and we didn't want to fly separate because it was like, okay, what's the point? Then I'm gonna have to sit at the airport and wait for her, or vice versa. And then the next flight, no, there just wasn't any more flights that night, so we got rolled over to the next day. Still wasn't a flight. The lady, we ran into the same, like, what is it?
Front desk
person at the terminal or at the gate, and she was like, y'all really should try to fly to New York because there's empty seats on that, and then try to fly back to Dallas. And we were like, we'd rather be stuck here than be stuck in New York.
Yeah, like at least I have family here.
Yeah. So those are really a lot of different options. Hopefully we covered them. I mean, obviously saving is still an aspect. Traveling is not free, but there definitely are ways to travel for cheaper.
And as college students, you know, like go ahead and pick up a side hustle. You know, like I know some friends who do Instacart. I've done Instacart, Joe's done Instacart, or Favor for some extra money, as well as an on-campus job. And you know, if you keep your options open, like we said with Skyscanner, you can definitely find flights that are like $60 one way, you know what I'm saying? So $120 round trip, and that's just side hustle money.
Or even $30 each way.
Yeah, or even $30 to some places, you know. And I think another big tip for us is that don't be afraid to go to places that aren't, you know, advertised on Instagram or popular. Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Aesthetic will get you caught up because not everybody can go to Bali or
like Fiji and all that stuff all the time. You know what I'm saying?
You really can't finesse trips like that. So you have to start somewhere, and you have to get in the mindset of, ooh, I love to travel. I'm going to spend money on this. Because I think the first flight that I ever purchased on my own was to Cancun. It was only, the whole full package was only like $500. And I was like, oh my gosh, I could have totally used that money for something else. No, if you're serious about traveling, just do it. And I promise you, the first time you do it, you'll be hooked and you'll have that travel bug. And then the next time, you'll be more inclined to spend money on a good experience.
Exactly. And don't be afraid to, you know, take other big sacrifices. Like for example, I used to get my nails done all the time. Like I'll get them done sporadically now, or I'll do them myself. But that has definitely saved a lot of money instead of like $75, $80, $100 every 2 weeks to like get my nails done. Like I can do them myself and then use that money to travel, which, you know, in the end, I'm not going to remember what nail color I had in February, but I'm going to remember that I went to Peru with my friends. So it's like,
exactly. Remember those nails I had in Turks?
Yes, they were very nice.
Best nails
they were
ever.
Very cute.
I would never spend that type of money these days on nails though, just a side note. But yeah, so just try to look for flights in advance, look for the cheapest option. I remember for my birthday trip to Rome, Skyscanner was telling me that there was a $400 flight, but I couldn't find the dates to match up that were the $400 flight, and we literally stayed there for like an hour. Like, okay, maybe if we go on this day and leave on this day, go on this day and leave on this day with this airline. So it really is a process, but it's possible. I went to Rome like for $400 at that, so
exactly,
I feel like it's worth it.
Definitely. But we hope you guys enjoyed these tips. Please comment down below, you know, what was your favorite tip and where you plan on traveling for 2019.
If we forgot anything, also let us know in the comments. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. If you want us to help you book a trip, if you want to go on a trip with us, let us know.
Yes. Follow us on our Instagrams down below. Make sure you like this video and subscribe.